Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to talk on my YouTube channel about women and fathers, moms and fathers raising their kids wrongly. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that you have to set discipline. You have to be very disciplined. You have to set a standard in front of your kids. One of the things I want to mention is that you do not doubt them. You never doubt your kid at any way, any shape, or form. If you have a kid that has a dream on doing things that, are across the borderline of, something that can cause him harm or something that, could seem to others very dangerous, then yes, then that case you let him know that might not be the dream he wants to go towards, and you show him ways and avenues on why he shouldn't go towards that dream and what the consequences could be. But as far as him having dreams that is things that you yourself may have thought you couldn't achieve, or maybe a black man can achieve, or something in that nature, it does not matter what, you know, long as it's not across that borderline, and it's still something positive, and it's still something that impacts the community, and it's still something that, you know, brings wealth to his family and friends, then, you should never tell them or doubt them in any aspect that they can never do this. Even if it's protecting his family, if his goal and his dream is to protect his family and be a protector, you should never doubt that, even jokingly or anything like that. And what that does is you're setting a standard. You know what I'm saying? I understand a joke is a joke, but what I'm saying is you got to set a standard. You're not gonna joke with him when it comes to him being he's setting his dreams. So for one, he's still a kid, or she's still a kid. So you don't want to joke with them when it comes to things about dreams and aspiration and motivation and things like that. So you don't want to joke with them. You want to let, it's a time to be serious and it's a time to play. So, you know, that's one of the things. Another one of the things I want to talk about is the simple fact that, a lot of us choose to bring, you know, things that shouldn't be around our kids. And for instance, nicotine, liquor, drugs, marijuana, adult games, adult movies, pornography, CDs back in the day. All of those things should not be anywhere near a reach of a kid. Nowadays, they have a box in order for people to put guns in. It comes with a key. Also, they have things where, it's a known thing where you can put locks on your drawers and everything so kids can't get to them. Or it's even a known thing that you have to put things high up if you have kids. If you have kids, everything that is not for kids have to be high up and out of kids' reach. But if you have, all of those things I just named, guns, violence, or, any of those things in kids' reach, if the kid is right next to your room, and he can hear, if your room is not soundproof and he can hear you over there beating on his mom, or he can hear his mom over there cheating with the neighbor, knowing that his father is at work, you know what I'm saying? Those things should be out of the kid's reach. You should never, at that moment, especially with his room being next door, should make sounds where he can hear such a thing. Everything should be tiptoed or whispered, knowing that he's next door. So you doubted the fact that, oh, he's so wise or he's so smart that he can remember this, or he's, or the fact that, I'm in control. He listens to me. I'm his mama. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I tell him to forget it, and it's forgot. But you doubted all of the things, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things, and even as far as the men, you have violence in front of your child. And what if your child, you doubted the fact that, yes, he could be a splendid image of you and might even have the same name of you. But at the same hand, if that child doesn't want to put his hands on women, and he don't want to live his life like that, he don't want to be, violent towards women, and he want to protect his family and things like that, and he want to be a provider, something that is the opposite of you didn't give him the benefit of the doubt of that. You know what I'm saying? So you can be who you are, But because he has the same option to be who he is, you cannot bring who you are over what he is. So you should never have shown him things that dominate and give him a choice of to be who he want to be. If he want to be an upstandard man, like a uprighteous man, and do the things that God implored men to do, then you should have given him the chance to do that. You should never crowd him around the things that you got going on, your friends and things like that, and chaos. You know what I'm saying? And as far as cigarettes go, you should never be, smoking around kids, and they should never see you smoking it at all as well, because those things is a distraction, for one. Even though they're a health problem, they're also a distraction. A kid should be, focused on being a kid and getting ready for this adult life so that they can, hop out there and start running and doing it good. Take off and do good when they do take off and leave their parents' house. You know what I'm saying? At 18. So, as far as the cigarettes and the weed and having sex with random people and the partying and the clubbing, all of those things should never be seen from at a child at all, and they should never even be spoke about. See, some people don't. Some people don't physically, or physically do these things. Some people physically don't smoke cigarettes or physically don't go to clubs, as far as in front of their kids, but they verbally speak about these things in front of their kids. Those are two bad things. You know what I'm saying? You're verbally traumatizing them, and then you could be physically traumatizing them by allowing them to see that you coming in the house at 4 in the morning, not from work but from a club, discombobulation, not being all the way dressed in front of your kids is a problem. A man is supposed to respect himself. How do you expect to get a woman that respects herself and keep herself covered and clothed and things like that if you was raised by someone who didn't teach you those things, then you're going to grow and be lost. It could be that you want to be like that, but you don't know how to be like that because you have never seen that. No one gave you a chance or the opportunity to be the man that you was born to be, which is a man that keep himself clothed, a man that don't reveal too much unless you are his woman. You know what I'm saying? A man doesn't go too much into detail. A man shouldn't just be talking and gossiping, especially if you're a manly man. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, a lot of people shouldn't do that with you. They shouldn't sit there and gossip with their son or sit there and gossip with their daughters. And when their daughter might be just a little bit different, you got tomboys out here. Some daughters be tomboys. Some daughters just they girly girls, but they just like to put on some steel toe boots and go to work in the factory somewhere. So with that being said, you can't always do everything for her to be a little girly girl whole time when she wants to be like this. You know what I'm saying? And she's still a girl. There's nothing wrong with it. But she would like to do this type of work. So don't overcrowd her where you're knocking out of her blessing. She's scared to admit that she wants to do a construction job, which is she's going to flourish in. She can teach people. She could be a trainer, anything. You know what I'm saying? I might be rambling here, but, I just wanted to get this off my heart. And then not only that, but, also, I vow to not have kids. I'm 26 years old, and I vow to not have kids because a lot of these things, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things I want to mention is, you should never have sex around where your kid is or anything like that. And they shouldn't hear them sounds because, like I said, a kid should be a kid. Not only is their hormones is not thriving like that at that young age. So yes, that part is okay, and they're a kid, and they listen. They're under your roof, and they have to oblige by your rules. But at the same hand, it does not matter if you put this on that kid's heart. He's hearing sex sounds. He's not only hearing it, but he's seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I had a few situations with a few women that that had sex with me while their kid was in the same room as us. And a few, like, I'll say about 5 months ago, I had my last encounter with that situation like that. It was 2 in the morning. I've been with them all day, helped their mom put in some stuff and she was just moving into a new house. I helped her bring in some new things. We got a U-Haul truck, and I got my license now, so I had to went and got some stuff with her. And boom, so I've been there with them all day, and we was just talking in the middle of the night. We in the front room, everybody wanted to have a movie night, and So now it's 2 in the morning, and the mom wants to have sex. So she tells her daughter, "Hey, it's time to go to bed," even though her daughter is just sitting there playing the game on the phone. Now, and she claims that they, hate to go in the room by themselves or scared or something like that. So she tells her, "Hey, it's time to go to bed." And she demands it. She said real sternly. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is that it was never, the fact that, oh, they had school in the morning, or, oh, the fact that kids should be asleep at a certain time, or, she's setting discipline. Like she wants, them to be, she wants them to have standards. Go to sleep at this time, or anything like that, or either that, listen to mom. It was none of those things being applied. It was just, at the time, she just wanted to have sex. So within 2 seconds of her daughter laying down, she instantly grabs my stuff out of my pants, or my shorts, or my boxers, and she puts it inside of her. So we start, a little bit of moving, and she's moaning loud, moaning, all of these things, just assuming that her child is asleep, but really she's not. And at the same time, yes, she's a kid and those things are not on her mind. But so you assume that, she's okay, and when the time come, I'll teach her and talk to her about it. But the thing is that the time has come, the moment that you've done that, you should never have sex around a kid that they can hear the sounds, they can even know that you're doing that. They should be so lost on what you guys do in your bedroom. They should be so lost for years, And that's where them kids come into play. That when they hear their mom talk about, how good their dad was in bed later on when they're in college, and they hear these things, and like, I don't want to hear that, mom. But that's more giving when someone went through years of never could guess, not even how they was even born, because you never revealed it. You never let them watch certain movies. You never let anyone do that around them at all, friends or parents or anybody. So for you to sit there and do that, you opened up that door. Not only did you disrespect them, but you disrespect, the man that's laying there next to you as well. Because what if he does not feel safe, comfortable with that? He doesn't want to do that in front of kids, or, it's, I understand that they wasn't looking at us, but like verbally they was hearing us. So, and then not only that, but she decided to, get wild with it. She wants to go from the position we was in to a different position. And then after we was even completely done, now she has the audacity to ask, "Hey, can I ride you?" So she wants to make this 2 o'clock in the morning situation. We had a long day. It's supposed to be just we shouldn't even be doing it as kids here. A couple of them in the room. And, the one is asleep, the other one is, I guess you told her to go to bed. So we already got our little 1-2 in, and now you're saying you want to do it, you want to do more, and knowing that you're moaning real loud, you're trying to, and really with the sounds that's coming out of you, you're trying to woo me. You're trying to make me, feel better, because I can do the same to you. I can, I can say, I love you in the middle of sex. I can say, "Ooh, damn, this shit good as fuck." I can say stuff like that'll woo you. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing you're doing with the moans and things like that, and the movements and things like that, you're trying to woo me. But at the end of the day, this is not a moment to be wooed. I understand you trying to, make your man feel good. You know what I'm saying? If I was even your man, but at the same hand, you don't do that when it's the time that you're in front of your kids. And then after we get our little woo in, you decide to want some more woo right in front of the kids as well. That's outplayed, and that's how I knew that woman wasn't for me. And then she had the audacity to ask me that I want to have kids by her, and I didn't. I didn't want to have kids by her, not at all. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna disrespect my child the same way you just disrespected yours. And and nothing wrong with, having kids. Nothing wrong with it, but it's all about how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, what is designed or promised to me, and if I could be there every second and every minute for my child's life. So that's the reason I don't want to have none. I don't want to have any kid. But I understand that it comes with principles and it comes with discipline and it comes with setting standards. And you have to graduate and you have to show your kid what is good and what is bad. So you set the standard for that part. And on that good level, it is so much that I have even yet to done myself. So if you choose to do something, whether your parent done done or whether he hasn't done, long as it's on the line of that good, we're over proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm always proud of you, just for, never giving up, but at the simple fact of you reaching things that I never even reached out of. You reached out of your comfort zone with that. So I'm always proud of you. And the thing is I'm not gonna overcrowd you to force you to be like me. Have sex in front of kids, smoke your cigarettes, smoke your weed, drink, party, go to clubs. You know what I'm saying? Boy, when you 21 or this and that, and then all of the things, and it's just terrible. And I remember, I had another situation like that where a woman had her son. I was Her son was in front of her and I was in back of her, and she did the same type of situation. She put my me inside of her, and we're just bumping and stuff like that, and but her child is right in front of her. So at the end of the day, that's just very disrespectful, and I just wanted to make that a point across, that's very disrespectful, and there's ways to go about things, and at the same time, is you have to have discipline. I understand that your hormones is growing at that moment, that you got someone young and strong behind you, and you want that moment, you want that thrill, and possibly he might just could be somebody who's willing to marry you, or he might be someone who could fall in love in this night. But at the same time, if those things can't wait to a better opportunity, then it was never meant for you in the first place. And that's what a lot of people is not willing to see through. You know what I'm saying? And you should be willing to see through it. You should go through a moment of telling that person, no, I can't right now. I have my child. And I don't bring people around my child like that. I don't, you smoke and different things like that. So, I wouldn't want him to see it. And you're trying to come over at a time that he's not in bed. He's woke. So I can't let you come at this time. Boom. But, you know, it is never that you're knocking away the fact that you might marry this person, or that this person might actually love you, or this person might be beneficial later on in life. Those things is not being pushed out. All it is that you're setting discipline. You're not going to go over a certain characteristic when you have your child in the room. And not just your child. See, I have no kids, but I still believe that I need to set standards for myself and have discipline for myself, because I don't want those things around me. I don't want a woman who drinks and smokes and have mental issues. You know what I'm saying? I have a father who has mental issues and drug and alcohol problems, but I also have a mother who has alcohol problems and mental issues. So, they both found each other and allowed each other to be exactly who they are, and then decided not to be with each other later on in life. So it's just like, and then they had us, us as the kids, and at the end of the day, I just don't understand why anyone would date someone that are doing so many things that's on the line of negativity or bad. Smoking cigarettes, drinking, doing X pills, all type of different drugs, coke. It's women out here that do coke, crack, meth, shrooms, all of these things. But yet you don't teach her, as a man, you don't teach her that, it's safe to not do these things. It's safe to not do these things. It's safe to love yourself. It's safe to calm down, relax, breathe. Give yourself a breather without nothing. We don't need any liquor. We don't need anything but to breathe and relax. And we don't even need sex. Understand, it could be a man and a woman in a house and don't need sex, not liquor, not cigarette, not anything. And just breathe and relax. And just stay calm and self-love each other. Make sure you shower. Make sure you eat on time. Not too much, just enough. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you watch your carbs. Make sure certain things like that. But as far as always feeling that you gotta have sex because you're around a man or you're around a woman is absurd. And as far as our parents setting the standards for us to that, is beyond me. Like, why would you set them standards for us? You know, if that was you or that's how you feel, that is okay. But to do it in front of us, let us hear it verbally or physically see these things is terrible, you know? And then for your child to, you know, misplace your cigarettes or accidentally bump the dresser and it knocked over your liquor and you terribly beat them and you call that child a bad kid because of some liquor falling on the ground and it bust open or some cigarettes being misplaced. That is what kids do. Kids play hide and seek. Kids misplace things. But see, things that are important to you should have never been in the kid's reach. Things that not only that are important to you, but yet a kid should have never been in a kid's reach. And what I mean by reach is not, just in your room. Because understand that that kid can, as long as that doorknob can be twisted and he can go in there. But the thing is that it should have been completely in a spot that a kid cannot go in. I don't care if you got to keep your cigarettes in the glove compartment inside of your car. And every time you want to smoke one, you got to go get in your car and go smoke one. That's fine. But for you to be upset at him for bumping something that was in his range, a kid is learning. A kid is, viewing things. But those is not one of the things that he should view. The fact that it is people out here that'll whip him over some cigarettes. Something he's not only is he's, realizing there's cigarettes in the world, he's trying to figure out what makes them so important that I just got my ass whooped for it. I could spill some water on the goddamn floor, and the most I get told is, boy, pick that up. But I didn't misplace some goddamn cigarettes, and I just got the fuck beat out of me, cussed out, and treated me like I wasn't even her own damn child. Or he treated me like I wasn't even his own damn child. So what is in them? Should I try them? Should I, what is it, what's going on with the cigarettes? Is it the price? Because we can get you that price. I know you don't doubt that I can make $10 when I get older. I don't give a fuck if it's, 10 years from now, I would give you $30. Or I don't give a fuck if it's, my next birthday. Whatever present y'all was going to give me, take $10 out of that motherfucker. And get you some cigarettes. So y'all doubt that I will make that decision as a kid, that I will take away some of my presents to get you more cigarettes? Yes, I would. But the thing is that at the same factor, cigarettes shouldn't be in the equation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand you had a bad kid. He stole your car at the age of 10. And he did something like that. Yes, then I understand, that is something that we need to get to work. That's something we need to get you to school and to the park and things like that. But as far as cigarettes, what do we need them for? For you to keep calm? For you to be relaxed? For you to keep your nerves down? For you to not act out and hurt me and whoop me? That's what you need a cigarette for before you jump on me or something like that? That's beyond me. That's a standard that you have set for yourself, but that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me, and I don't want any parts of it either, though. Now that I'm an adult, I can say that fully. I want no parts of them. But at the same hand, even as a kid, I wanted no parts of them. The thing is, you didn't give me the ability to say that to you then as a kid, that I want no parts of that. That I have nothing to do with that. I don't condone that, and I don't judge it, but at the same time, I don't even want to acknowledge that in my lifestyle. Whip someone over some cigarettes, be angry or can't control myself because I don't have a cigarette, or I have to hit a cigarette before I hurt you. No, I'm just not going to hurt you. I'm going to analyze the situation, and I'm going to address it assertively, the way that it should be addressed. I'm not just going to unrationally hurt you. And that just means that you guys was unstable parents, and all of that's what this counselor is for. Y'all wonder, why is it 400,000 counselors in the United States? They're here for unstable people, people who, might have rushed to have kids or didn't all the way have their childhood or wasn't brought up the right way, that hasn't got, all of their screws tightened all the way in. You know what I'm saying? That's what the counselors are here for. That's what the medicine are here for. That's what, low paying jobs are here for. Minimum wage. Minimum wage is for people who hasn't become an expert at life just yet. You're still reacting uncontrollably. You're still, feeling the person across the room don't like you. You know what I'm saying? All of those things, what does that matter? Like. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just felt that I had to get this off my heart, because at the end of the day, people need to understand that kids are very important, and you set the standard for their future, and you shouldn't set it the wrong way. You shouldn't set it the wrong way. You should definitely set it in a path to let them to get into the good options that they have in this world, and then from there it's up to them where they want to choose to let choose the land at, and if they want to take 5 different curriculums, then they can. You know what I'm saying? But the most you could do is just be proud of them. But it is so many people out here, parents that are hating their kid for experiencing life and the life that you set the guidelines for though. You, my father, my mom, all of you, you set the guidelines. And then my grandmother, she was on drugs. You know what I'm saying? One of my grandmothers was on drugs. Two of my grandmothers was on drugs. So it's like y'all all set the guidelines for what happens in the future. Now, you know what I'm saying? If you guys would have given the benefit of the doubt that I can do good, I can be a provider, I can be a protector, I can respect not only adults and elders, but also kids that is trying to learn. They just come into this world. They shouldn't be judged as bad or none of those things, and they shouldn't be taught bad either, or made or pushed or peer pressured into doing anything that they do not want to do. But I just ask that everything that I said in this video today, that everybody analyzes it and try their best to not antagonize each other or antagonize a kid, because we all made some wrong decisions. Kids is gonna make wrong decisions, especially banging their head off the wall or trying to fly down the stairs without walking, or jumping up 2, 3 stairs at once. Kids are gonna make bad decisions. But the thing is, it's just you set the standard. You set the standard, and you got to remember, it is no cameras following you through your whole life. Not from a child, even when you had your first child. It is no cameras following you for every wrong decision you have made in front of that child. So the moment that child, does something in front of you, and you're ready to point the finger at them, you need to go back and watch all the videos that you have ever done in your life and realize that you set the guidelines for this. You played a strong role in his guidance. And so did he, the father. Especially with my father being unstable. He might have graduated, and never been in jail in his life, but very unstable. Not a stable man. He wasn't planted. He didn't have his mind made up. He was a Roman soul. If that makes sense. He was confused. And I wouldn't even just say confused. I think he had made his decision into being confused, with a period at the end, never wanting to be unconfused. But the thing is that they still chose to collaborate. Knowing that people has a problem. The thing is that I don't understand why we make it so cool and we celebrate not fixing the problem that is at hand. Fixing resolution, coming up with a resolution for the problem, resolving problems. Once we resolve the problem, then yes, because then we know how to go about resolving problems and getting back on with the rest of life. But it's just people out here who had a problem 20 years ago, who is now 40 years old and still don't know how to resolve a problem that they dealt with way back when they was in 5th grade. They don't know how to resolve that problem because they never became a problem resolving person. They have never resolved anything besides drinking, smoking, and those are only momentarily satisfying things. And they does not satisfy a lot of people. A lot of us look at those things like, don't see any pleasure from it. But yet, you guys do. And it was because of the people who set the guidelines in front of you. But you can no longer keep pointing fingers when you are adults. When you are adult, it is your time to set standards and set boundaries and discipline and move forth. Especially when you have a kid. Not only do you set standards and discipline for yourself so that you can live a good life and look good in front of God living it, but also so that you can teach them how to live the good life. Actually live. It is some people that has not lived. It's people that get locked up at 12 and get out at 36 and they're still a kid because their life was paused. They're not able to live. So my thing is, I'm saying, like, allow them to live. You know, allow them to know to look both ways when crossing the street, so that way they don't get hit by a car. And now they been in the coma for 4 years, and now they're, they just now getting back to it, and they need to be taught a lot more things again, how to talk, how to read again. That shouldn't happen. Teach them, and show them some guidance on how to, be able to live and live good. Might be different from everybody else good, but it's still good and you can still live. Now, the moment that your living become paused, somewhere down the line, someone went wrong. Whether it's you or the person before. But it needs to be analyzed and it needs to be fixed. The problem needs to be resolved so you can get back to pressing play on the movie and keep it going. But at the end of the day, don't do those negative things in front of your child. That is so disrespectful. And it makes the kid not respect himself later on in life. I have bumped my head so many times. I have done so much wrong to myself, because no one respected me when I was a child. I got no respect. My hopes, my dreams, no one respected it. And not just, strangers on the street, but my family. Little do you know, a family, when you're first born, is strangers. We become family the longer we spend with each other. But at the same time, it depends on what you do from that moment on to what type of family member are you. Are you here to teach me good or to teach me bad? Are you here to inspire my dreams and tell me that my dreams mean something and that I can do this and that I'm going to do this? That it isn't no can't in the vocabulary. You can do this. Are you here to tell me that, or are you here to tell me that I can't? And what makes me think that I can? Are you here to be that person? So, thank you, YouTube, for allowing me to share my first video of a heartwarming story of, my life and, lives of many others in this world. And I just hope that this helps someone, or, because I know it helped me get it off of my chest, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night, and I just hope everyone else does as well. Alhamdulillah, all praise and glory goes to Allah. Thank you.